Hello and welcome to the Great Indian Gaming Podcast, episode number 4. Where's Karan?
Oh, I guess we'll have to start without him.
Never mind, let's start.
Welcome to the Indian Gaming Podcast.
Alright, so today we have the guy who made the most successful hyper-casual cricket game, Mr. Runout.
That's me.
Aditya Natarajan, aka Nutty. Go ahead, dude.
Hi guys, I'm Aditya Natarajan, founder of Optimum Games. Last year we released Runout, one of the most successful hyper-casual cricket games. We've made many games in the mid-core market as well, and we've worked in all the genres from 3D to 2D. We worked with clients, licensing games, and
He's done it all.
He's done it all, yeah.
Dude, you know, done it all से याद आया कि इसने रनआउट में कमेंट्री है. और रनआउट में कमेंट्री इसने किया है. Give us a line, bro. Give us a line.
which one? What do you want? A funny line?
Ravi sir.
No, I haven't done the Ravi Shankar.
Okay,
He's done the Hindi commentary.
Dude, we found the guy who did all
Yeah.
these things. That's
He
another
helped
story.
me.
But
Yeah, he
He
helped
did the
me.
Hindi commentary. And what happens when you throw accurately in runout when you hit the stump? What does the commentator say?
I'll give you a simple one first. बेहतरीन throw था ये. Okay, I'll give you a funny one. शुतुरमुर्ग कभी उड़ता नहीं, इनका कैच कभी छूटता नहीं.
क्या बात है. इतनी हिंदी तो मैंने कभी नहीं सीखी.
आपने ये सब डायलॉग्स रिकॉर्ड
Yeah,
किए हैं.
so मैंने और प्रोग्रामर ने अभिषेक, so मैं बहुत कॉमन लाइंस लिख रहा था, फिर उसने बोला let's kill it. And
let's be Akash Chopra.
Let's be Akash Chopra.
Sometime.
Yeah,
Too good.
I got that a lot actually. Akash Chopra. Yeah.
Yeah, because he is one of those funniest.
Yeah. So I'll give you a good insight on how we did that. So instead of hiring a studio and all, first we just recorded off WhatsApp. I sent him the files. He put it in the game, and we were like, okay, it's sounding nice. And then we were convinced that it's sounding good. Then we added the commentary option, and then we went to a studio. And then also I was like, I'll just do it myself because money, guys, you gotta save money.
Yeah.
And then it worked out really well, and even the best thing was that the guy who was at the recording, he was like, are you a regular commentator? And I was like, okay, job done. I was like, job done then.
So if you were not in game development, you would have been a commentator.
I was actually considering it.
You were telling me, right? You would want to be a shoutcaster as well.
No, I wasn't telling you this. But
I was telling you.
yeah, you were telling me this at GDC.
Yeah.
But I also did the English commentary for this other cricket game that we made, which let's not speak about that for now.
Okay.
Oh, what cricket game?
Yeah.
Now I want to know.
Okay, so I think anyone can, be resourceful on their own. You just have to take an initiative, try things, and that's how you get, good stuff. If it works, then it's good. Otherwise, you can always hire professionals to do your stuff.
No, definitely, that's a very good approach. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, talking about the basics, like Optimum Games, right? Optimum
Yeah.
Games. You are running this company from your house, dude.
पूरा का पूरा घर से.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Tell us about it, dude.
So I've been making games for over 7 years now.
Wow.
Started in 2012.
Yeah.
Fuck, can't believe it's 2020. Sorry for explicit. Okay.
This is
So yeah,
internet, bro.
पूरा का पूरा setup घर से है.
Yeah.
We've always worked remotely with each other. We have 3D artist, 2D artist, programmer, everything, the design and everything I handle. But बाकी सब घर से, everyone is working remotely.
Everyone is at different places.
Different locations, yeah.
That's awesome.
For some games we work internationally as well, with good timelines and everything is fixed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it's pretty good to do it from home. It's challenging, but it's good. You get different comforts, you get different challenges.
Okay, walk me through the good sides of working remotely and the bad sides of
So
working
good sides
Let's
are
start with the good sides.
there's no travel time, there's no none of the extra stuff. You get flexible hours whenever you want. Yeah, it's completely on your convenience. कुछ टेंशन नहीं है.
जब मैं उठूंगा तब होगा शुरू मेरा ऑफिस.
मेरा ऑफिस हमेशा it's like a 24-hour doctor's clinic.
Yeah.
पूरा time चालू है. But the bad parts are again कि office पूरा time चालू है. You never like कभी भी. So it's like sometimes you're working with people from another time zone. Then you have to like work according to their convenience.
So basically, if you're awake, you're working.
If you're awake, you're working. Yeah. If you're at home, but since you're working remotely, you have to always be answerable on the phone. You have to always be available, accessible.
Even when you're sleeping.
Yeah. So there's always like there's so many times when you're like about to sleep and then I'll get a message that build uploaded, check, feedback. So it's like there's no flexible time, but that's the good part and the bad part. So it's
जो youngsters है, obviously now we were talking about AAA games का development, उनको वो करने का है. In that zone, जो भी लोग वो zone में हैं, उनको how difficult is it for them to
No, of course, like
this.
There is a certain limitation that comes with working at home, and like eventually even I want to like have a good setup and have an office space. But the thing is that like people who have been working with for so many years, like some are not even in the city, but I've already been working with them and they are like part of my core team. So I can't bring them together, and they are like working with me since a really long time. So abhi suddenly I can't like not work with them and then set up a new team here. So I get stuck with that aspect. But like if you really want to grow, then you have to have a setup. But you can do a really good job, working from home. Like you can be efficient, make many games, I guess.
So are there any rules you follow or any systems you have in place or any habits you've built or tools to allow you to work from home better?
So it's actually we just have basic stuff. We have like groups on WhatsApp and like
right. So WhatsApp groups is where your primary communication
primary
happens.
communication, Skype, and AnyDesk, TeamViewer, they are best friends. Right. So yeah, because like many times you have to it's just easier to get stuff done. And
don't you think like I find it very difficult to work remotely with someone. I don't know, maybe that's the kind of person I am, but for example, like if I have to tell my programmer that okay boss, this shade is not looking good, change it. I feel like I need to sit with him and actually set it myself. Set the lighting.
So the first game that we created, that full game was like completely hands-on. Even though we went to like remote locations, but that was completely like hands-on.
Yeah.
But eventually, like after our games tanked and फिर पैसे का ज़रूरत था.
Yeah.
And then when options were less, that's how we started working with, remotely freelancers.
Okay.
तो फिर एक करके I kept building relationships with these guys, and that's how it started. But then they became part of my core team. We gelled really well.
Yeah.
और फिर वैसे like I kind of got pushed into working at home.
Yeah. So it wasn't the plan. Wasn't your choice.
It wasn't like मैं अभी मैं से मस्त स्टूडियो घर से बनाऊंगा और सक्सेसफुल बिजनेस बनाऊंगा. It just happened by like I don't know by
it just happened and you just started liking
I do want to have a setup. It's not that, but like of course like
at least for now
it's great. Like on the scale I'm operating at, the kind of work I'm doing, it's great to do it. You hear of so many people working from home and running successful businesses. In आजकल तो सब
the other day I was talking to Chirag, he's doing the same thing, right? The whole thing
remotely, right? 4-5 people or something you were saying, right? Who worked on possessions.
And that too, not even from India. They're from other locations outside India. And that's
you need to be super organized, man.
For Globe, our game Globe, unfortunately, which didn't do too well, that got a lot of critical reception, good critical reception. Like on some sites, it got good scores, and it also got selected for.
I remember we going.
That's where we met first.
We went to Casual Connect.
I
Casual Connect for that Casual Connect.
Yeah, so that got selected.
I didn't get selected. I applied for that Casual Connect.
Wow.
But
you got featured.
Yeah.
So
with Slam Jump.
With Slam
Jump.
Okay. But that must have been an early build.
It was an early build.
You submitted Globe for Casual Connect and it got selected as part of the.
I submitted Globe. So that game, most of the work was done from other countries. So the artist was from Taiwan.
The art was too good, dude.
Yeah, the art was pretty good. So the art was from Taiwan, and the UI was like from another, like I think he was from South Korea, the guy who did it, and programming was done from Mumbai. sound was done from UK. Like we worked with these guys in the past as well. So then, you know,
The rapper was there.
yeah. So imagine like it was like in the true essence a global development for Globe. So
Yeah, Globe.
that was
You know, he kills it with the art.
Yeah.
Like if you visually, his
what
games
I-
always come out really
what
well.
what I observed in the past few games, right? Like the Globe, then the Run Out wala.
Yeah.
He focuses a lot on the overall aspects of the game a lot. Like most of the developers, small time developers, indie developers, when it comes to music, right? They tend to ignore that part of.
I've been guilty of that too.
है ना, like we also did that, like कि थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर से ले लिया, free ले लिया. I saw him focusing more on that aspect as well. जैसे अभी एक cricket में the commentary thing, right? Again, Globe में having a separate music guy. Even I didn't have any separate music guy till now for any of my games. आज तक का. So that's one of the.
His attention to detail is.
Yeah.
it really depends on the game, but for run out ke liye, like everyone, like for run out it was very important for me to get the sounds correct, because what happens is that everyone's associating the stump hit noise. They've been hearing it since मतलब बचपन से they've been hearing it.
Yeah.
That's-
सबको पता है. So you go wrong with that, satisfaction will not be there.
Exactly, it adds so much to the satisfaction.
So that hitting that stumps, वो उड़ने का तो ठीक है, वो तो particle effects वगैरह से कर सकते हो, like the trail and everything. The programmer did. In fact, like I didn't even have to tell him. He did it everything on his own. He added the trail, the ball trail, everything like he managed. But you know, like before that, we had a very basic sound, and it was just not feeling right. As soon as हम लोग ने sound डाला, and like actually Vishwas from Bangalore, he's worked on many games, many successful games. You might have played Bonfire.
I know.
Yeah. So I called him. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the whole game and all done from you. It's just one sound effect. But that's the game, you know. So sometimes it's just one thing.
Right.
It's just one thing. And
When he was building this game, we were talking about. It was very early, ना. बहुत मतलब वो डाला भी नहीं था. And all कुछ महीने पहले I saw a YouTube video, ठीक है, एक बंदे का वीडियो था.
Sabyasachi Tripathi, he's a really nice guy.
He had a video which went viral, ठीक है, and that was about him mimicking all the commentators, ठीक है, रवि शास्त्री से लेके
Harsha Bogle, Tony Gregg.
I saw that video on YouTube और 2-3 महीने बाद he added me on Facebook and sent me a message, ठीक है, कि I am looking to get into this voice based in the vocal industry, so if you have anything for me, connect me. And just 2-3 days back we were discussing about that.
Are you
Because
serious?
I
This
said,
came together.
I told him to connect to that guy, and I think he did some voice for
this, fun fact, this happened in Himanshu's house.
you. Yeah, the
in
discussion,
Bangalore, yeah.
the discussion that we were having, and that was a very high discussion.
Yeah. You can say that like
It's a
that.
high level discussion.
High
yeah.
level discussion, guys.
yeah.
Please don't misunderstand.
was
That
true.
was a very
Very high level discussion.
level discussion.
That's true.
But tell us about Globe, man. So you got a publisher for Globe, right?
Yeah, so we got a publisher for Globe through Casual Connect.
Okay,
Like,
nice.
it wasn't the publisher that we met at Casual Connect, but that one thing led to another, and word spreads that, and you know, like people know what games are there, and
Yeah.
so there are representatives of other companies.
Yeah, but I
So-
remember people talking a lot about the
So-
art for that game at that event.
Yeah.
So best part Globe का क्या था कि the art, like we made a good trailer, like more than the sounds and everything, you know, like it was a very basic trailer, but we made like this 3-way trailer where like, so we did comic book, you know, we added a basic story. We were focusing on mid-core market. So that time, obviously, like now when you're making a game, you have to focus the market that you're making. So you make a casual game, you have to focus on the fast experience.
Yeah.
You're making a mid-core game, it has to be a slightly deeper experience, right? So we had a basic story and stuff. So we had like on one side of the video, we had like the story running. One side we had like all upgrades and you know what the game, the meta of the game. And in the middle we had the gameplay running. So that would keep switching. So that would grab, you know, like a lot of people would just stop. And
Right.
Like in fact, we didn't have to do much talking. We just
It
had
was
to leave
just
our
there.
laptop on, and then they would come and ask, okay, can we play? And our iPads. and
So
everything.
you had a booth?
Oh yeah,
A stall?
Yes, so since we were finalists there,
Yeah.
we got like a space on
Okay. That's great. So, but that helped you draw attention.
Helped me draw a lot of attention. And obviously, like a lot of publishers do come at these events.
Yeah.
So they came and they stopped, and we got interest from a Chinese publisher.
Quick question before you go into that. Did you always want to go with a publisher for this game?
So yes, I did want to always go with the publisher because we had released games uske pehle and like actually it's not that bad. Like one of our games had got published with Absolute Games called Fivefinger Fury, and that was like that got featured worldwide on Apple.
Right. So you had a good experience with that.
Yeah. So I knew that working with a publisher is the way to go, and it will make me money if the game is good. Because we worked on 2 games with the same publisher. One of them पूरा पिट गया और एक गेम पूरा हिट गया. तो
attention to details.
Insane rhyming.
उसके बाद Globe, it was we didn't spend too much time. मतलब now अभी मतलब obviously compared to hyper casual games जो अभी रन आउट वगैरह में लगा उसके कंपैरिजन में Globe was a lot, but nowhere compared to the first game that we made, which took us nothing less than 3 years.
3 years to make one game.
To make one game. It was it was completely into the casual space and inspired from Cut the Rope and Angry Birds, but wrong place, wrong time.
But I remember your Fivefinger Fury, man. It was a very interesting concept.
So actually, for Fivefinger Fury, one of my core beta testers is sitting right here. So I would I'll just tell you quickly about Fivefinger Fury. So Rooftop Mischief had flopped. We worked on Flipster, that flopped. So it was like we were in this oblivion, like, you know, like क्या करें अभी यार? Like,
बनाया कि नहीं बनाया?
हम लोगों को आता है कि नहीं? You know, you ask yourself that, right? So तभी I wanted to, मतलब I had some crazy concept, and I was like making, like the art and everything was in place. So what time I was like, Karan bro, test this game, let me know what you think. So he was like, you know, I would just send him builds again and again. I was like, obviously he's a childhood friend, and also he's a helpful guy. It's not only that he's a childhood friend. So I was like, bro, please, give me some feedback. Tell me what's working, not working. Don't give me good feedback. It'd be like, it's not satisfying, it's not hitting the thing. Like that karke, I would just keep sending him things, and I would keep sending him options, you know, and then he would be like, dude, something is not right. And then like through chatting, like other friends, I kept like, you know, discussing concepts, and it was like a very collaborative kind of concept that I made with Fivefinger Fury.
I think.
Yeah, and the final touches were added by the programmer. So like still till the end, till we got the whole mechanics right and everything, then he added basic, you know, effects and the smoothness that's required, and that's how the game really came into play. And it got featured. It had great art. It had great sound again.
I think that's one thing you do really well is you're good at taking feedback from people. You're always looking for feedback.
I think that's very important because for the first game we didn't take feedback.
Fivefinger Fury का concept you guys know.
We played it, yeah, we played it.
वो हिंदी picture में था ना ऐसा हाथ डाल देते हैं ऐसे.
So one thing that like sometimes I just want to tell quickly about Fivefinger. Like sometimes what happens is that if there's an idea you're really convinced about, I think you should stick with it. So जब भी हम लोग बना रहे थे गेम तो सबने बोला कि हाथ मत दिखाओ. सबने बोला like the artist, the programmer, they were like कैसा दिखेगा, हाथ कवर होगा. तो I was like यार उसके बिना वो फील नहीं आएगा, मजा नहीं आएगा. तो and वो टाइम पे वो एक ये चीज ट्रेंड कैचअप गेम्स का ट्रेंड हो रहा था कि अलग अलग थीम्स आ रहे थे, मतलब different skins, different characters, different themes. So we obviously went one step ahead. We तो added like I added a story in the dialogues and all of my game. So like it's like if you play it abhi bhi, you'll get a whole gist of that universe that thing is set in. So like I was really convinced. So but everyone was like, nahin, including my partner at that time. He was like, no haath and all that. And eventually like it wasn't like getting that satisfaction. And then I was like, just try it, just put it. At the max we'll remove it if it's not working. And it just like we just got that feel, like, you know, you added a bit of that screen shake on each tap and we were good.
The hand is what makes it relatable. Yeah. It's just like, you know, you just feel scared. You don't want it to hit your finger, you know.
You've seen that experiment जो नकली हाथ रहता है यहाँ पे. There's a wall and there's असली हाथ यहाँ पे. ठीक है, and you see the नकली वाला हाथ, and somebody puts a hammer on that हाथ, ठीक है, and you tend to
Put it on your own hand.
defend your hand.
yeah.
Dude. And that's the exact same feeling, I guess.
One thing I want to ask you here, अभी आजकल एटलीस्ट जब हम लोग पब्लिशर्स के साथ काम करते हैं तो पूरा माइंडसेट है डेटा डेटा डेटा, राइट? कि रिटेंशन इतना आना चाहिए, सीपीआई इतना आना चाहिए, सब नंबर्स के साथ खेलते हैं. बट दिस डिसीजन वाज अ गट फीलिंग.
Yeah, तो वो पूरा का पूरा gut feeling था. Like it's nothing about like data, and for that particular thing, because it was a relatively design oriented decision that we were making, and that's why I was saying, like, you know, some elements you need to trust your gut,
Right.
on a few things. So, and that's how, like, even with Run Out, like, I don't know, like, you know, when we were thinking about the concept, like, it just felt like यार 2 मिनट में boring हो जाएगा. But then obviously, like, you know, you just have that feeling कि नहीं आएगा मजा, so you make the prototype obviously, but like not all games, like we did that for another cricket game that didn't have the same satisfaction. So it works sometimes, it doesn't work, but you have to trust your gut, you have to try based on your gut.
Okay, so tell us about Run Out, man. You developed the game, finished it, and then you launched it first on Google Play.
Yeah. तो like जब भी हम लोग ने Run Out पूरा develop किया, तो we were pretty confident. We did a soft launch in Pakistan and Bangladesh, and we tested like, you know, retention and stuff. और तभी थोड़ा सा, of course, like our retention wasn't the most satisfactory. तो वो time थोड़ा करके we just kept tweaking it, we added it and all, and then we were getting close to the IPL का release. So that time we were like, okay, now we can't miss the window. Whatever the data is, we'll fix it after launching. So we released it, and then like थोड़ा करके we kept improving it through the IPL season, and it really peaked. Towards the end of the IPL season, it really peaked, and it started doing really well. So it crossed about 2 lakh downloads. Like, it started off very slow, and then it just suddenly crossed like over 2 lakh downloads towards the last week, you know, towards the finals. But that time we had really perfected the feel of the game, the session length. So we nailed all that.
I remember जो भी खेलता था Run Out वो actually बहुत addicted हो जाता था.
Yeah,
तो वो data भी reflect कर रहा था.
That's true.
Okay, फिर Google Pay पे launch हुआ. फिर
And this was completely focused for India.
That it was completely, मतलब पूरा देसी audience पे था इसके लिए.
But did you try considering regional language और ऐसा कुछ इसके अंदर?
तो regional में हिंदी commentary डाला हम लोग ने, which is universal, at least north of India gets taken care of.
covers a lot. Yeah. But it did well in Australia, UK as well.
Yeah, it did well in those countries also. It did very well in South Africa and UK.
So the cricket playing countries basically.
Cricket playing countries, not all the cricket playing, like now West Indies and all, Sri Lanka. We didn't
Small
get,
audience also there, so not so
so
much.
we got
to
like
focus.
it did well in South Africa.
Okay, so then a Google Pay launch happened.
Yeah.
And then a real money gaming platform was coming up
That
at
was
that time as well.
It was coming up with that.
Right, MPL, Mobile Premier League. So how did that entire process happen with
So
them?
that actually changed the game. That really like boosted my game and my studio. So now Run Out has been played by more than 40 million users.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So like that really, you know, reinforces that, okay, you know, you're doing something right. You're making games in the right space. And then of course, like once a game gets played by so many people, it's been there since the first phase of their launch, then, you know, people take you also seriously, that okay, you can make a sustainable, long lasting game.
And everything is happening from your home.
Yeah, everything is happening from my home.
So just to clarify, the 40 million came from you working with Mobile Premier League.
Yeah, so we had already released the game. They had seen it. They liked the game.
Nice.
So they contacted me to license it on their platform, and they wanted a few tweaks, like little branding and, you know, stuff to make it suit their audience for their kind of data. And that's how, of course, we made those changes, and we released it fairly soon. Pretty good working with them as well, and that, like, they kept growing, and so did our game with them.
You were one of the first few games.
Yeah,
right?
it was the third or the fourth game, basically the first phase of their launch,
Nice.
of their since beta basically.
It's there on all of MPL's TV ads also. You see
Yeah,
that
it's
now.
different.
Yeah. Runout is a pretty big name in the industry right
Yeah,
now.
it's
great
done
game.
really well, which I'm fortunate for. So, but yeah, I've also got a good platform from that. So it's great to
That's
work.
amazing.
It's great to work with other companies that want to license games. It opens up a lot of more opportunities. Like पहले कैसे था कि सिर्फ Google Play और Apple Pay आप depend करते हो.
Yeah.
So that was like very.
That's what I was
That was
coming
very
to.
challenging.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to. This is not the only option.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not the only option. There are multiple options. You have clients, you have licensing games. You can keep building games and you can keep selling each version of that game to different.
And I think you have made your own games.
Yeah.
And then जितना तूने ये खुद के गेम्स ऐप स्टोर्स में डाल के बेनिफिट किया है उससे ज्यादा आई गेस यू
Much more.
you've done from working with publishers, with licensing your games.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty much how I've made all my money, like through working with publishers, licensing platforms, clients. That's pretty much how I'm surviving, and like wouldn't say surviving, but that's how I'm like really.
Can you just
working.
explain this licensing ka process just to get the clarity on it?
So you can either make a game for yourself, release it yourself, and approach one of these platforms. And if they like your game, they'll put it. Or if they come across your game and they contact you,
So it can be on the Google Play Store and on iOS, and it can be on their platform too.
yeah. You have to like most probably give them exclusive rights depending on game to game.
Okay, exclusive rights as in
For
like
a real money gaming platform.
okay.
तो अभी तू गेम बनाएगा अगर से स्लैम जंप तो अगर रियल मनी प्लेटफॉर्म्स में so an X platform will have rights to that, but you are free to put it on in China, in those
On
alternate
iOS,
app
Google Play,
stores.
basically, on
Yeah,
iOS.
App Store,
Nice,
Google Play,
great.
Amazon. You have rights. You have the IP remains with you. It's pretty chilled out that way.
So licensing, does it work in two ways? Because from what I was reading is that it generally there are two methods of licensing. One would be an upfront payment, and another one would be from the money earned from the game
revenue
on the
share.
platform. I think there are reports the developers can earn 1 crore on MPL, etc., etc.
Yeah, that depends on the deal they sign with the developer. But there are multiple kind of options available. Like with publishers as well, it's like you have different kind of options. Like some of them offer you minimum guarantee, some don't. So it's pretty much similar with these licensing platforms as well. So it depends on how you want to look at it. If you're satisfied with a one-time fee,
Yeah.
it works for you. अगर
Yeah,
चाहिए
it's
ज़्यादा
not-
पैसा और रिस्क लेना है तो कर
Yeah,
लो
it's
काम.
not just the real money platforms only. Na? Matlab, I
Yeah.
remember working with we were porting the games on Samsung का new platform जो Tizen का OS आया था. They just asked for games and then we ported our games to their platform. It's the same kind of licensing deal only. Currently that we are working on the Lia platform, the holographic games. अपने games सिर्फ जाके दे रहे हैं लोगों को. So yeah, obviously there are lot of opportunities,
Different ways basically to
different
make
ways
money
to make
from
money
games.
from.
Yeah, there's a lot. Clients के साथ भी if you get a good set of clients, अच्छा पैसा बना सकते हो. We actually made a game for one of some agency, like this driving safety game. So like, and then we've done like this Ludo game for like an internal, like they just wanted it for their corporate people, like with their personalized stuff. It was like for a
Fantastic,
small
yeah.
office, but it was a small project. We just spent like 2-3 days. So it depends, like how you want to like maximize your business. The challenges of working with clients are that you have to chase them, you have to find them. Working like if you're working for Google Play and all, you're not chasing anyone except for
That's
success.
a nightmare. Working with clients is a nightmare.
Yeah, it is a very big nightmare.
But it's something we all have had to do, right?
Yeah, we all have to do it.
Have to do.
Still.
Yeah.
Survival is the most important thing in the end.
It sometimes feels like you're selling your soul, but it's okay.
It does. It feels like that. But yeah, करना पड़ता है.
Yeah, you got to make money.
I've had a good time working with clients as well. It's not been all bad.
Yeah,
You've
I'm
always
sure.
showed me that the MPL experience has been
Yeah,
amazing.
MPL is amazing, but MPL is more games. They're
Yeah.
experienced with games, so it's great to work with people who know games. But I work
90% of the times people
Yeah.
with no gaming experience
They wanna
come,
make a
so
game.
that is
Oh yeah.
that is a nightmare. The biggest fuck up is with working with digital agencies, dude.
yeah.
Oh really?
I had a nightmarish. It took me 1 साल. मतलब मैंने दिया बिल बड़ा बाद में, but time frustration. Imagine I was in Singapore for a casual connect, and we're in the hostel and we're sleeping, and this guy is like calling me. He's like, ये ड्राइविंग रूल. I'm like, अरे यार अभी सो जा तू. सोने दे. मैं आके देखूंगा 3 दिन में आ रहा हूँ.
Digital agencies में there are creative people, right? They tell
Once
you
more.
yeah, the creative
Yeah.
people. They give you suggestions how to make a game.
Right.
They give you suggestions how to make a
Yeah,
game.
because you don't know how to make games.
Yeah, dude, we are noobs, dude. अबे सुन.
Come on, all the juicy content coming.
Yeah, the thing is, what I've realized is, high management gives this one thing कि ये बनाना है तुम लोगों को. And then there are a bunch of 5 to 6 guys who want to prove their existence in that company, and they fuck your life. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, the excitement
Let's go. Let's go one by one.
लेकिन मेरे को बनाना था कभी ना तो कभी गेम, तो अभी मैं पूरा वो भड़ास निकालूंगा.
निकालूंगा. And what happens, you know, अभी recently हुआ, there's one digital agency, I don't want to name them. One of my friend works in that company as well, and then they were discussing it internally, ठीक है, that we want to make a game, and someone in that group of discussion says वो 50,000 में बन जाएगा, ठीक है.
Classic.
Just
Underselling.
said it, ठीक है. Conversation में he just said it, and that 50,000 went into the agreement automatically, ठीक है. And they started looking for people who can make that thing for 50,000 only. जिसने ऐसे हवा में बोल दिया था कि ये 50,000 में बन जाएगा, ठीक है. And I saw the scope of the game and I told them कि ये at least तेरे को 3 लाख तो लगेगा ये बनाने के लिए. That's what I told the guys. नहीं वो तो बोला कि 50,000 में बन जाएगा.
वो कौन है?
हाँ वो कौन है?
I don't know, dude. That is how they
Copywriter कोई ad agency में, right? Those are the guys that are giving the quotes.
And sometimes because you need money, desperation mode पे, you sometimes agree to things like
Yeah.
that, dude. And then it's a nightmare, dude, because it starts with a 15 days ka job. It goes to around 4 to 5 months.
I think everyone's feeling
Because there is a
heartbreak
hierarchy
pain right now.
There is a fuck all hierarchy, approval hierarchy in their system. Anyway, that's off topic.
No, that's completely on topic. I would say, like, everyone take 2 minutes and say the worst experience they've had.
Is something that everyone has to do at some point or the other. You will reach a point at a startup, running a game company, working from home also. Even if you've done 40 million downloads before, what are you going to do tomorrow, right? अगर पैसा खत्म हुआ तो मैं क्या करूँगा?
You have to keep the lights on.
Yeah, and if you don't have a revenue stream from one of your products, from one of your games, then you need a revenue stream from somewhere else. You need to have some kind of contract going with someone, or you need some work coming in so that you can get paid for it to run your company, pay your team.
And we can talk a lot about delayed payments, clients being mind fucking, etc. But you're getting that money, right? From
At
giving
the
them
end
that
of the
game.
day,
I mean,
it hits your account.
yeah, that money will come in.
Yeah.
It's assured rather than putting it on the app store. फिर most of the times कुछ नहीं आता है.
In this process, one thing I've realized is you need to keep your ego in your pockets, dude, with these guys.
Yeah, I've cried. I mean, please पैसे दे दो. Please.
It happens, dude. It happens.
They force you to even give everything. They're like, सब ले लो, चड्डी बनियान बेच के ले लो. Then also, dude, I'm like, you know, and the worst part for one of my clients was that the guy who I was dealing with left the company.
Oh man.
Yeah. Then you are screwed. So you should try and get your money out first. So
Yeah.
But one thing good about working with clients is it trains you. It trains you to be like a proper badass.
Professional,
Yeah,
and you're-
like you have to like take no shit from anyone.
A ruthless
after that.
professional.
Like my first time I was working with a client, I was like, sir. Okay, and after that I'm like, okay, I know how to deal with this.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it. Like, you know, I know how to get my
Yeah. बन जाता तू सख्त लौंडा बन जाता. I remember, dude. पहले when PUBG started ना, अब पहले तो बहुत ही गंदे एक्सपीरियंस है, बट अभी PUBG के टाइम पे there were people used to call me and tell me that PUBG बनाना है, ठीक है, हाथ पैर कुछ नहीं, कॉन्वर्जेशन को PUBG बनाना है, ठीक है. And I used to think about it. At least think about it. I remember calling you a couple of times regarding the same thing
Yeah.
about such kind of huge projects.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I ended up, the conversation goes on for 10-15 days, and then then they come up with something saying कि अरे इसका budget 10 लाख ही है.
For PUBG, he wanted to make another PUBG.
Yeah. And now it's like PUBG बनाना है, कंपनी से बात कर रहा है, नहीं इंडिविजुअल फोन रख. That's what.
Like staying and wavering from this topic, I'd like to ask you guys, movie games.
Yeah.
Everyone's had experience with movie games.
Never
I
had a
best
contract to
experience.
make one.
I had best.
Okay, you
experience.
did?
Yeah, I had very good experiences with movie games. One positive.
I'll also tell you one good one.
One positive. You don't have to nurture that game. एक बार गया.
Yeah.
वो है.
पाप खत्म.
Nobody cares after the movie's launch.
So I was saying that I'll tell you a really funny story about a movie game that a client approached me for. I won't name the studio and the movie, but I'll tell you the actress. तो हम लोग गए. That guy is like सब games दिखाओ. मतलब first of all they make you feel like a tailor जो साड़ी दिखा रहा है. एक सब games दिखाओ.
दर्जी.
हाँ. Like ऐसा मुझे ऐसे फील आता है भैया क्या क्या गेम्स है. It was a
Dude, this is common, huh?
common. It's very common.
वो नट्टी ऐसा शॉप में खड़ा है वो और आता है कस्टमर
सर ये देखिए.
इधर पीछे सब गेम्स पड़े हैं. ये लोग मेरे गेम्स देख रहा है.
देखो गेम्स देखो बट फिर ये अच्छा नहीं लगा वो अच्छा लग रहा है इसमें ऐसा कर सकते हैं क्या एंड देन देयर यू लाइक अब मैं आया हूँ मुझे बेचना है तो मैं क्या बोलूंगा हाँ कर सकता हूँ तो दिस we have one stock 3D runner top down similar to Rodeo Stampede. So the brief we got was कुत्ते को निकालो सोनाक्षी को डालो. But I'm glad that we didn't work with that movie because the movie tanked and they weren't ready to pay us. They weren't ready to pay us. They were like revenue share.
That's a
development
strategy उनके लिए.
They were like
But you have to pay. Usually you have to pay, no, to get a license, movie का license.
अभी होता है वैसा, पहले नहीं होता था.
पहले नहीं होता था.
अभी सिनारियो उल्टा हो गया पूरा. पहले people used to come to us saying कि ये गेम को प्रमोट करने के लिए एडवर्ड गेम प्रमोशनल गेम बना दो. अभी they are charging developers
for the license.
For buying. See, this happens because bigger studios, bigger companies are doing it.
Yeah, but for us it's probably not feasible. No?
Yeah.
Unless we can.
Dude, 50 lakhs, 75 lakhs, that's the quote.
Ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
That's the quote that they offer.
Wow.
There's just no point. But you spend so much money and then you have to take that risk
Then you
to try and
publish it
recover
in
it.
India and you will not even make
And the
that.
filmmakers don't care after the movie's launch. They don't care about whether you're recovering your money from the game.
So there was this other friend used to live in our society. So he used to play this game Streets of Rage with us. So it was a fighting game. Okay, it was a brawler. Okay, sorry, sub genre nahi pata tha. But anyway, so in that game, what happens is you go ahead like typical brawler games. You're going ahead, you're beating up people, and then if you lose health, you have to eat chicken. You have to consume chicken to gain back health. Now that guy was a Guju.
Jain, bro.
He was Jain. Sorry, he was Jain. So
Big problems.
in the game, he would not eat the chicken. In the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot of dedication, man.
That is insane dedication. And now he's eating non-veg आराम से दारू पी रहा है non-veg खा रहा है मस्त. In game में नहीं.
So basically, he used to get his ass kicked because he wouldn't take the health.
नहीं तो there would be an apple.
That is only that.
So the makers thought about people like this.
नहीं the makers were like apple से एक health मिलेगा इससे दो
Chicken से
chicken
दो
से
मिलेगा.
दो.
I feel like something like this will happen now in modern games also, dude, for all the vegans.
Yeah, you'll have to. You'll have to.
Yeah.
For sure.
There will be game changers.
Okay, dude, so how does it feel that 40 million people have played your game, run out?
It feels insane. Like you don't really think about it when you're creating it because if it's your first game you do. If it's your first game you think like 100 million खेलेंगे आराम से लोग. But का खेला तो मेरा क्यों नहीं खेलेंगे? तो first game है तो ठीक है. But when you're on your 5th, 6th game, you don't even think about it. You're like गेम अच्छा बनना चाहिए, पैसा बनना चाहिए, बस.
Organically 10,000 आने चाहिए बस.
उससे ज़्यादा ही रहता है यार. But you have small dreams when you're making your 5th, 6th game.
Yeah.
And then obviously like when so many people play it and so you get such a massive platform to showcase your game and it's always been there since for everyone to see, then like you can't put it into words. It's amazing. Like,
How has that helped your studio?
so when you like now, because Runout has been there since such a long time, it's one of the like many games come in and go on that platform. So that's always been there. So then that like assures anyone, okay, like anyone who is looking at that model of business or that type of the real money platform basically. So then they already know Runout. Okay, it's like it becomes like a stamp of authority.
Right.
Like, okay, इसने बनाया है एक पूरा सस्टेनेबल गेम, मतलब 1 साल चल रहा है, अभी भी चल रहा है, लोग अभी भी खेल रहे हैं पैसा डाल के, whatever winnings हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है अलग बात है, बट खेल रहे हैं लोग. तो it really gives you, okay, it gives you legs to walk more, that okay, बना सकते हैं गेम जो चलेगा. So वैसे like मतलब it's more than the number of users, it's वो कितना टाइम चल रहा है. अभी 40 मिलियन ठीक है, 40 मिलियन आज खेलेंगे, 2 दिन बाद बंद कर देंगे तो फायदा नहीं है, बट वो अभी तक खेल रहे हैं, अभी तक चल रहा है, नए लोग आ रहे हैं, एडिक्ट हो रहे हैं, नहीं हो रहे हैं, दैट्स आई डोंट नो.
The key learnings that you would tell people who think of working from home and doing bigger things.
So you have to like the one of the main things is that you have to make your team absolutely transparent with you. You can't have any like hidden, like not hidden stuff, but like you can't let them take you for granted.
Yeah.
You have to be true with them and they will follow. That's the main, like that's I think your core. Like if your team is not with you on the same page, they're like हाँ अभी आज है ये है, then नहीं बना सकते हो आप game. And secondly, of course, like you have to learn to give references if your team is good. Like now I've said, because I've been working for so many years, मेरे टीम को पता है कि मतलब मैं बताता हूँ like Abhishek and me take a lot of decisions together. He knows exactly what I'm saying and he takes it up always. So Runout के लिए भी it was the same thing. उसने मतलब काफी खुद से inputs डाले because he got the vision of the game. So to get your team in sync with you, to get them to trust you on your thing, working remotely, that is the biggest challenge. And I think if you have that, you have everything.
Great.
Because like you know how it is, like if you even if you're in person with a guy and he's not on your page, then there's no use. That's the
Exactly, yeah. All right.
Great. So we let's just wrap this.
Wrap it?
Cool, man. Wrap it.
अपना टाइम आएगा. Let's wrap it. That's not let's just wrap it.
One really crazy thing, okay? Nutty is actually living in 2030.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For New Year's,
Okay.
you know what he was doing?
What?
He didn't go out for a party.
Oh.
He was at home. He set up a party on the PlayStation
Yeah.
with his friends from, I don't know, all around India.
See, everything it's consistent with my theme. Like working remotely,
Work from
partying
home, play
remotely.
from home also, party from home. Fantastic, but the story you told us about the night you had was insane.
Yeah, it
because
was a
of
great
all
New
these
Year's.
people from around the country, you were all sitting at your own
मैं
houses
काम
having
ही-
cold
मैं
drinks.
सिर्फ काम ही नहीं खेलता भी मैं
हाँ, remotely.
Dude, he had an online party.
Perfect.
That probably happened in 2013, VR and all.
Yeah, that would happen. So we went game hopping. We played multiple games instead of
Instead of bar hopping.
yeah. So one of my friend was the DJ for the night. So he made a shared Spotify playlist, and we were like, so that you can put the Spotify on your PS4 and then it plays in your game. We were changing games. He was playing the
Wow.
music.
That's amazing.
So we
Insane.
were drinking a little, eating. It's good.
Totally 2000.
And people were coming in and out, so it was great. It was
Yeah.
like a real party.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
ये था एक बेहतरीन पॉडकास्ट. इसे लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करने को ना भूलिए.
Yeah.
जरूर.
Guys, check out Runout and Nutty's
Yeah.
other games.
Yeah, the links will be in the description.
Optimum
don't-
Games is
yeah.
the name of his company.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We'll be putting the details in the description below. See you guys in the next episode.
See you guys.
Peace.